Awesome, awesome. Let's go back to the top. So, a lot of really great scenes here. I think the ones you were working on have came a long ways. There's still some little things here and there that, could obviously, use a little work. But overall, man, what these are really cool. I actually I really love all three and we can fill your compositions and what I would like you to do though is in terms of your document layout, I'd like you to bring your references forwards. Like you want to like you when you pitch it, you want to have concept, reference, and then take these renders and let them be full screen so we can enjoy like what you've made. It's okay if it adds more pages to the document as long as we get to enjoy your work. I think that would be a really good idea. Um, so with the LED, what LED strip were you talking about in here? I was trying to see what you were talking about. Where is it in the scene? You're trying to make a light, like a fluorescent light? So, if Meshy can't make it, just make it yourself with Blender. Like, that's literally just a cylinder with, like, 2 extrusions on each end and a bevel. And you can UV map it, and then you just assign an emissive, and you can make that thing glow to as much as you want. Um, there's a little bit of a weird lighting shift between your back it feels like your back plate's a little bit too close to the windows, um, if I'm being critical. Um The window frames are a little rough too, like, I mean, you can make that yourself as well, like, even you make that auto UV, even if they're just black, not full black, but, like, like, really, really, really no, like, you don't wanna go 100% black, but go, like, 85, 90% right in there, and it'll look pretty natural, like, with your glass, but, I think you might possibly just need a different backplate that fits your scene a little better, like, I think you've got the premise of it with that, I don't have a problem with that any of that, I just think unfortunately, it just looks like a little bit too like, it has kind of like a greenish blue hint to it, and your room definitely has like a purple vibe, which could be from the LED vibes, but it kinda creates like a weird, contrast between the 2. And on your screens, like how Adeline what Adeline did, what you can do is just you can just even make planes. Like, you can come in and curve a plane a little bit, pop a UV on it, and fit it to where the screen is on your arcade and on your monitor over there. And then you can put an emissive and you can actually put something on it so it looks like it's on, and that'll help you. Just low hanging fruit, easy wins. All right, let's look at the second one. So this has came like a really long ways, I would say. Do you feel happy with your progression? I mean, yeah, I think it's came a long ways. It looks a lot better. The lighting's way stronger. It's good. You have shadows now. I think the new display on the wall feels a lot better than the skulls did before. Um, if you really wanted to get wild with it, you could consider making something like a big centerpiece and then kind of arrange those around it a little bit. And that might would make it, bring even more attention to it. And so, like with the fire, when we get to Unreal, you can just download Particle Fire, or you can use like VDBs for fire over there. But if you wanted to try to cheat it for an image, one way that you can do it is kind of the same trick with the TV monitor. You can basically get fire on a black image, or even have like Gemini do it, and you can basically just you can or you can make it transparent. Like there's two different ways, but if you have it black, you can basically set the blend mode to essentially like multiply, um, and that'll help. It'll basically make it just fit into the world so that it looks like there's fire on a card. I mean, it's kind of the old way of doing VFX. It's not like the new way where we use VDBs in Unreal Engine. And there's nice fire in Blender. It's just this isn't a VFX class, and I don't really, and we're moving to Unreal where you'll have it anyway, so I don't really expect you to do it here. But this is sweet. I like it. Major progression here. Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks pretty awesome. If I was being real critical, like where we have the kind of trophy display, just because it's a straight up extrusion into the wall, there's no like trim around it or anything. It creates a hard edge right there a little bit. Um, but I mean, and there's lots of ways you could go about that. If you wanted to try to break that up. But other than that, man, I think it's pretty good. I'd probably leave this one alone. I mean, I think you've done a good job. I'm not disappointed for midterm. This is great. You made a lot of revisions. This is huge improvement. Yeah, let's look at the last one. Oh yeah, or your close-ups too. Make these images bigger. Make them bigger so we can enjoy your creations, you know? Yeah, render them at 4K. Uh, I was wondering, so that does look a little awkward. I would try to dial that in with the camera a little bit better, or do a little bit better job with your post on it. I was just assuming that it was a little image and or that it wasn't super high resolution, but I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it, but that makes total sense now that you say it. What blur tool are you using? Just standard blur? Are you using Gaussian blur, radial blur? Mm-hmm. Which blur? Like I'm trying to. The reason I'm asking is because like certain types of blur can look more natural than others. For because like the way a lens works, it's typically round, so radial blur is going to be more natural in many cases than even say like just a Gaussian blur. But you also have to be really subtle with these things. Like you don't want to use them to just like cover things up. It's not really a good idea because it'll just look like what it does look like, like it is blurred. Try to do it in camera, and if you're not getting a lot of depth of field, there's a couple reasons probably why. Like one thing you can do is, you can use a larger lens. Like so, let's say we go to like an 85 or a 135, but get further away from your subject matter. and then use a low aperture or a low f-stop. So like if you use like an 85 millimeter lens and then you run like a 1.8 f-stop on your aperture on that camera, and then make sure your depth of field button is your depth of field is turned on, then you should, and then make sure you choose what element you want to be in focus. You should be able to get that effect, and it'll look more natural. What millimeter lens are you using? What's your focal length? Is it a 30? Does it have the depth of yeah, you wanna check that. Try crank that up, make sure depth of field's on, and then bring your aperture down, your f-stop. Oh, well, don't cl instead of clicking on it, just, manually dial it in from there. Like, the clicking is just, like, to get you in the right place, and, like, even if I use something like that, it's usually just to get me in a like, into the realm of where I want things to land, and then I'm gonna dial it in from there manually. Um, yeah, like in Unreal Engine, we just check the box, and then it pops up a purple plane, and then we line the purple plane up. You know, it's really easy. We're gonna play with a lot more of this stuff, but yeah, just if that's what I would work on here is like, since you've made a lot of progress with this, then I would say, focus on playing with the camera and, just refining, adding additional details anywhere you think that you might need them. Anything you think you can try to make better or something, that you want to try to make yourself, like you can totally go back, fix those windows and throw in some LED strips on that first one. But let's look at your third one real quick cuz that one looks really sweet. So, we want to see this big. Like next I want these to be like full screen renders for sure. Cause these are awesome. Like this is really cool. I know you're proud of this one too. You got to be. I mean, you're driving the bus. Show, show us if you want. It looks awesome though. Like this is incredible. Like it's very cohesive. I think you could you think you could make a game cinematic in that? What do you think? I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, I do. I totally think you could make a game cinematic in there. I think that looks great. I think you've done such a good job that the hard thing we're gonna have is deciding which one you're gonna animate. If you have enough time, you might can animate too, but that's extra work you don't have to really do. But they're good enough that they look like they could both be nice portfolio pieces. I mean, your first scene is good, but your second two are so much cooler that I like them better. Which one did you make first? What was the first one you made originally? Yeah. So this was the second one you made? Oh, wow. Was your lighting looking this good before, or did you learn some things like with your crypt that helped you? Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a little cartel hideout. I like it. It's very cool. Yeah. In the right image, the cowboy hat looks like it's floating a little bit. I maybe would consider the pose of it. Um, that's the one thing you got that's a little wild there. But I think this is working pretty good for you. What do you guys think? Let's get him some feedback from the class.
I agree. I think this one, like the night one, like looks very good. I think maybe you can add like a bit more like destruction on some of like the feels like the couch is like a little bit like from like it's not like full screen, but it looks a little bit like too nice, I guess, for like a zombie apocalypse kind of setting. Um, like maybe you could add some like tears to the flag or like some dirt, some like splotches, something like that. Like I like the window. I think the window's really cool, and like your backlight looks nice. Um, and maybe you can even add some like debris. You know, maybe that like the door could be off its hinges or something like that, or like it could be boarded up. You know. But yeah, just like more like wear and tear, I guess. But overall, it
Even
looks
a
really
door
nice.
handle, even a door handle would go a long ways right there. There is. Mhm, yeah. Yeah. I'll show you guys how to work with some decals over in Unreal Engine too. They're really easy and bring a lot of life to things to like go back and add little rubble on the ground and stains and puddles on streets and stuff like that. Even rugs. Like honestly, the decal rugs in Unreal Engine look fantastic. You just have to change the settings on the decal so that when your character runs through it that it doesn't show up on their feet. In terms of showing off your environment, I do think you should make those renders a little bit bigger. Let us kind of enjoy what you've made and make sure to show, kind of a grayscale version of it too, so we can kind of see what you got going on. But other than that, I think this is looking pretty awesome. You're in pretty good shape here. So this is just fine tune it a little bit and bring those references to the front, and I think we're all right. Can thank you for working so hard on your progression. I feel like we can see some pretty major progression here. Yeah, we're gonna get it there. It's awesome. I mean, dude, this is big progressions. Like, I mean, that thing looked like the center of the sun last week, and now it looks like dynamically lit horror scenes and dungeons. We have drama and we traded out spider webs for like hanging monsters, and it's just like it's way better. Like major improvements. So awesome. Let's see some more before we don't have. I know we only have like about another hour, so I want to try to get through as many of these as we can.
All right. Is it cool if I go up next?
Yep.